and Happy New Year to our esteemed viewers out there. My name is Afacho Salif Usman. Is on the first edition of the program for the year with me, Salifu. Welcome to Sports Orbit, our first edition of the year.
Thank you, Alpha. Happy New Year.
Yeah. All right. From on our show today, we are going to start from the NFF, where the President Ibrahim Gusau has assured Nigerians and stakeholders alike that the Super Eagles and all other national teams will bring joy and glory to the faces of Nigerian football fans. According to him, he said that the team will ensure, the federation will ensure that adequate preparations will be put in place to ensure that all national teams, both the age grades and the Super Eagles, will bring joy to Nigerians. Salifu, you know, like they say, talk is cheap, but they have to get the job done. But a good way to start, at least giving hope. Of course, he was talking against the backdrop of the recent success of the Chan Eagles qualifying for the Chan after so many years of not even being able to make it to the tournament.
Well, it is good to sometimes to give a promise, but you have to be sure that to put everything where it's good to promise. And just like admin, you have to put everything machinery in place to ensure that if you feel the promise he has made to Nigerian, and at the same time, where you can't just put a promise on an empty ground. And if you're looking at the scenario, what will happen on the ground, what machinery has been put on ground to ensure that yes, the national team, that is the desire of everybody. Nigerian want the Super Eagles, want all the national team to excel and to do well. And if you look at all the national team at the moment, yes, the Super Eagles who have qualified for AFCON. The AFCON 2025 will be hosting this in Morocco, and the team is also struggling. They are in a precarious conditions. Either they are going to make it to the World Cup or not going to the middle of the World Cup is something that it still dies very dicey. Because if you look at the situation the Super Eagles are, it is more than to conclude that they are not going to make it than to conclude that they are going to qualify for the World Cup, because they have about 3 teams ahead of them, and their position is not too palatable. And at the same time, looking at the women for the Falcon has also qualified for the Women Nations Cup, which was supposed to be hosted last year, but unfortunately has been shifted to this year also. The Shan that is just mentioned, the Shan 2024, that was supposed to be hosted last year, that also be shifted to this year. And just like you see, for the first time, almost for 8 years now, the two editions, the Super Eagles from home couldn't make it, but after some while they have managed to make it to the final. And just like, and because of that, not only Gusau, a whole lot of Nigerians in the shadow of our sport administration, rising from the chairman of the National Sport Commission, the DG, and everyone, they are celebrating this team beat as if we have even won the tournament itself. And it just, one has to comment that they have qualified after some while, but the way they are celebrating as if we have even won the tournament, to me, nothing so special. Or if we be who we are as the
we
most
shouldn't
popular,
be struggling to qualify for something like Chan.
as the most popular African nation, as the giant of Africa, we shouldn't qualify for African event. It should not be something special that we should beat ourselves and celebrate that we have done well. But not just like Gusau say, yes, we are urgent, and at the same time, this is just a starting of the year. And I hope that Nigeria should not be angry by the time we reach November or reach November. Nigeria has to remind him of the promise he has made. So, and I think he should be able to justify and put himself in a steady position that next time, or in 10 more time, just like you say in the intro, it's cheaper to talk. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be angry when I promise that the Eagles are the national team are going to do us proud. And where are we? Where are we after some time after 10 months later? So, but we hope that they will be able to meet their target, and just like say, and do Nigeria proud. That is the desire of everybody.
Very well. All right, now to some boxing news now, where British Nigerian boxer Anthony Joshua says he's targeting a fight with Tyson Fury in this year 2025. He was in Nigeria recently, where he paid a visit to President Tinubu in Lagos, and whilst he spoke to reporters who had asked him, he said no, he's still very much in boxing, not ready to hang his gloves yet, because his dream, he said, is to ensure that he recaptures his heavyweight title he lost a couple of years ago before he finally called it quits, and he's targeting a fight with Tyson Fury, who also lost his rematch with Alexander Usyk.
So I don't know I don't know what they are going to fight for, because he don't hold any title. Fury doesn't hold any belt. So
no, it will be a fight for, once you lose your belt, you fight to become a
challenger.
So you keep moving up to the grades like that.
I understand what I'm trying to see, that it could have be different thing in the past. We are looking for two of them to fight for undisputable title.
But basically, this fight is more about money than even the belt, because there were some reports last week who said that they are projected to be a revenue of almost like 300 million pounds. So it's basically more of a money thing than a title thing.
Absolutely. You have hit the nail on the head, and it's more about the financial motivation than about the pride in the boxing itself. And at the same time, a whole lot of people, including all the British and all the boxing fans, have looked on to this fight between Fury and
for a long time.
And Joshua. When Joshua was in the prime positions, holding the belt and holding, and the Fury also have a good. Several times he has approached Fury. Fury have declined to fight him. But now, just like I said, both of them are now not too very on the prime target in the boxing cycle. But at least they still have a pride, and they still have a name when it came to the game of boxing, and being a British affair. I think the promoters and all the investors will be interested to see the fight, and just like us here back home here, we'll also be interested to see Joshua and Fury's fight. And one significant thing about the Joshua is that, which everybody has also commented on. I want you to join my elbows to commend him. Is his ability to come back home. Even though he's not flagging the Nigeria flag where he's boxing, he's a Briton. But he has identified with Nigeria that he's root from Nigeria, and frequently he was at the Ogun State government, Abeokuta, where he's actually come from, and the governors hosted him when I promised to build a boxing gym in his name, I think, and also we want to also urge him. Yes, we don't know if the governor has promised to build a boxing gym in his name, and hopefully that either the money is coming from the government or it's coming from the Joshua. But we want to urge Joshua that yes, Joshua should also try a way to motivate Nigerians youth to come into the game of boxing. Probably come one day or the other, trying to train with people, and then to teach some people are invested in the boxing development in Nigeria. Despite he's not holding, he still hold a lot of cash. So he need to come home, not just coming home and visiting the VIP. He should invest and go to the local to empower the locals in Nigeria.
All right, moving away from that now to some other stories where Ademola Lookman has been included in the Syria team of the year following his impressive performance last year. The team of the year was compiled by WhoScored.com, with Lookman the only Atalanta player who made the cut. Other players included Inter Milan's trio of Federico Di Marco, Marcos Thuram, and Hakan Çalhanoğlu, including former Chelsea player Christian Pulisic. So, I mean, for Ademola Lookman, I mean, as of January 2024, if you had asked him how the year would have looked like for him, he wouldn't have been able to predict. But I mean, 2024 has been a fantastic year for Ademola Lookman.
Obviously, yes, to remember, and obviously a year for remember for Ademola Lookman, and nobody is surprised about his inclusion in Syria A team of the year. He has really made his mark and done well, and we can only pray that 2025 will be another promising year for Ademola to keep on shining. So Nigerians and his families are quite proud of what he has achieved in the previous year, and we can only hope for better and more improvement for this year. And luckily, if you look at Atalanta, for a very long time, Atalanta is topping the Syria A. So who say maybe he could be another Osimhen, who from nowhere after almost 30 years he was able to give Napoli their first title, Syria A title. Their first title. Maybe Ademola Lookman, having helped the club to win the Europa League last season, could be this year. Who could this year hand over to them the Serie A title this year?
Exactly. All right. To some other news now, that's talking about the NPFL, where Shooting Stars goalkeeper Mustafa says the team will be up for the battle in the second half. The Shooting Stars recovered from their poor start to the season and are currently sitting in the third position, and they are beginning to dream, saying, "Look, we have what it takes to win the league." And for Shooting Stars, been quite a while since they won the Premier League, and of course they have the likes of Remo Stars and Rivers United to contend with, who seems like every week they seem to switch position between first and second.
You can never even see anybody still very much around.
Exactly.
Anybody have to see many backlog of matches that they need to play to cover to catch up.
Very well.
It's not when you find yourself in the top four position, and particularly at the middle of the season. Yeah, you can say yes, you have what it takes to be the leader at the end of the season, and we can only wish them better. But they need to improve from what they are doing so far.
Exactly.
Because winning the league is not just a mere ticking or a mere hoping that I can do. But what have you put on ground to ensure to give you that guarantee that you can do? Earlier we commended in our previous editions, we commended the league man, the organizer of Nigeria Premier League, because we have seen some quite improvement, and now the league, the transfer window has been opened, just like the transfer window has opened across the world, across the world. So this is how it's supposed to be, and we quite commended the Legbele and his team to trying to align our league with other major league in the world. But the only thing that is still lacking, and we still complain about it, is the inability of the local league to go on break when there's the international window.
Exactly.
So it is only in Nigerian league when there's the international window, still our league is still on. So they need to separate that
exactly.
to ensure that our league is aligned with other league in the world. We should also observe international break when they are players. But sometimes you cannot force them when our local league are not able to go on the international matches. So,
exactly. That's the major issue, really.
So what they need to do is keep on doing what they do to the day that we now begin to find our player play on international, be on international DT when the league is on, when the international window is open. And another thing is that is having this backlog of matches for a player who is competing in the in continental competition. We see what is played. They need to align as they align. They're supposed to align with other things that's been done. How the English FA or the Premier League organizers are doing. That yes, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, all they are competing in Europe, but they are not having a backlog of matches.
Exactly, that is an issue where they really need to look at. Now let's go to Europe and take some news where Chelsea head coach Maresca has said that Chelsea are still a side in progress, especially after that surprising 2-0 defeat to Ipswich, which nobody really saw it coming, and Chelsea currently lie in fourth position, and clearly it had seemed like they were genuine contenders at some point, but I think they themselves, they say what you say might happen to you. He continues to say that we are not contenders, and now truly showing that maybe they might not be contenders after all, slipping down to fourth position.
Yeah, well, obviously it's one of the coaches that I begin to appreciate and begin to find love with him, what he has done with him. But you are doing it shorter time with Chelsea. Nobody sees Chelsea coming to this level at the end of last season, the way they end last season and the way they struggle. So coming this season, see Maresca and probably a coach that is coming from a lower division, only helping the Leicester to qualify for the Premier League and bringing him. So nobody see him as somebody who had that pedigree to take the Chelsea to even manage the Chelsea club. But fortunately, he has able to show some sign that he has a job, that he has what it takes to lead the Chelsea. And to some extent, we begin to some point, we begin to see him as the only genuine contender for the title. That has only one to challenge Liverpool after the like of Man U, Arsenal, Man City begin to humble. But to come to just like you say, come to a certain time, maybe sometimes what you use your mouth, they say mouth can also drag you. You can be your own great undue. But he keep on saying we are not a contestant, but he came to a point he begin to admit we can contest. But now, surprisingly, begin that maybe the player have begin to see that we have arrived at some certain things. So I think the only thing we can all you need to address this situation quick. Because 2 matches now without a win, and if you continue like this, before you know, this is the same thing that happened to Man City. But we are not wasting Chelsea short match. We need Chelsea and Arsenal to be on top of their toe to keep on push Liverpool to the limit.
All right, to some other stories. Of course, yesterday, first game of the year, Arsenal were in action against fellow Londoners Brentford, and 3-1 it ended. in that one, of course, Brentford had scored first, but Arsenal came back to equalize and score some other goals, leaving it 3-1 and are currently second on the log. Well, for Arsenal, the match started like it was going to be a difficult one, knowing Brentford how they play, and went up initially and almost scored a second goal, only denied by a fantastic save by Raya. I mean, that looked like a save of the season after he was beaten completely by the ball, and somehow he was able to dive backwards and pull out the ball just on the touchline. And Brentford could have gone 2-0 up then, and it would have been a different game completely. But credit to Arsenal, they showed resilience and won that match 3-1. Now firmly at the second position.
Yeah, 6 points behind Liverpool, and Liverpool still have a match in their hands. So it's like 9 points ahead. But it is good that Arsenal won that match. If they have been other way around yesterday, Arsenal could have completely forget about the title this season. Exactly. But it's good that they won that match yesterday. And even going to that match, the Brentford coach was beating his chest that they are going to do Arsenal. Give Arsenal a run for their money. They're going to ensure that they beat Arsenal in that game. And just like keeping to his word, they take the lead. Yeah. Just 30 minutes of the game, they take the lead. And surprisingly, and Gabriel Jesus, who has come back strongly, we hope that Gabriel Jesus maintain this form.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the same player that have played 20 matches without managing to score one goal. And in his last 4 matches, he has scored 6 goals for Arsenal. Yeah. So we hope that he sustain this form. And Arsenal can also move ahead to maintain to keep on reduce the gap between them and Liverpool. But the only way they can reduce Liverpool is to pray that Liverpool drop a point. Exactly. Although going to be before that match, journalists were asking Ateta either Arsenal is still can still catch Liverpool for the title, and he said clearly admit that the only thing they can do is to keep on playing their own matches and win the matches, and hope that Liverpool, if Liverpool win all their matches, then so be it. That means they have to prepare for next season. Exactly. But if Liverpool did not win all their matches, and which is what every possible club has be able to win all their matches throughout. Yes, Liverpool, they are very strongly, very in good form at the moment, because where we expected them to drop a point, they surprised the last on Tuesday they play. Before the New Year, before the New Year,
West Ham.
They play West Ham
5-0. It was.
Yes, it was 5-0. So I was hoping, I was hoping that West Ham is going to. So sometimes West Ham can surprise you. West Ham is going to play some surprise and probably hold them to a draw. But surprisingly, the slam West Ham aside with 5-0. So and the way they are scoring goals, sometimes something like keeps scaring other opposition and other opponents. And if you look at the outstanding matches they are holding against Everton, which is also a potential 3 points. So other contestants like Arsenal, Chelsea, and probably Man City, if they can be able to come back, need to up their game if they must challenge Liverpool to the limit.
All right, let's take a look at the standings, the EPL table, and let's see how things are in this new year. Of course, Liverpool right there at the top, 45 points, followed by Arsenal, who have 19 points. Nottingham Forest last weekend were in second place, but have now dropped to the third position, while Chelsea are in fourth. Then, of course, Newcastle, after that victory over United, have gone to fifth, while Man City also, after that victory over, who was it? I'm trying to recall now, have moved on to the sixth position.
Man City, over Leicester.
Leicester, yes, exactly. Of course, the likes of Bournemouth also in the top 10 doing well. Fulham, Aston Villa too, not being consistent this time around in 9th position, while Brighton make up the top 10. Of course, the likes of Spurs, who for a couple of years have managed to be in the top 10, not doing too well. Same for the likes of United in 14th position. Then for the let's take a look at the bottom 10. When you look at Southampton, have been so poor this season, just 6 points, meaning out of 19 games they won, just been able to bag just 6 points, and Leicester too not having the best of times since they gained promotion, looking like they, if not care, not taking, they might just go back.
All the three teams are the same team that gained promotion.
Exactly.
It came from the champions. The teams that came from champions is like they are not merit for the Premier League at the same at the moment. So I may not be surprised by the Ipswich, but Leicester and Southampton, who are Premier League club before, don't forget that Leicester is a former Premier League champion.
Oh, of course.
And Southampton has been one of the strong contenders in the Premier League. All of them get relegation, and after one season they bounce back. And one would have expected that they could be familiar to understand the rudiment what is done in the Premier League. But unfortunately, the two of them are strongly alongside with Ipswich, who just came to the league after for the first time. That's a very long time. But let's see how it goes. This is, you still have 19 matches played so far. This is half of the league, and another 19 matches to go. But you can still navigate your way up,
definitely, and
can still navigate yourself down into the relegation water. But for the more disturbing part is just Southampton. Out of 19 matches, only managed to get 6 points.
6 points, exactly.
Out of the possible.
In fact, I was reading somewhere where they are beginning to rank them as one of the worst teams by this time of the season to have this number of points.
Exactly. After 19 matches to play, out of the almost like for 50-something or 60-something points, you are only getting money to get 6 points. From
Southampton, it takes something special for them to.
So obviously they
because the gap between them and Leicester, you can see Leicester have 14 points.
14 points.
So
that
it's
means
quite
for them to even catch up with Leicester, they need to win as much as hoping that Leicester know we are need to win at least over
maybe 4 or 5 games.
Need almost 8 points. To about 3 months.
Exactly.
To catch up. And for them against the relegation, above the relegation, 10 points above relegation between them and Wolves.
Exactly.
Wolves who has above relegation. Even Wolves need to be mindful of where they are, including the Everton and including the Crystal Palace need to be mindful of their position the way they are. But for Man U, it's quite unfortunate that Man U, Tottenham, who are supposed to be at the top 10 or at the top 6 or at the top 4 or 5 of the table, are not finding it easy. It's like the Amory formula is not working because the way I'm seeing, I don't know. And even the other man who left Man U to went to Leicester after 3 matches, he started well, but unfortunately, it's like he's not even finding the job easy at Leicester.
Like you say, it's always difficult to move to a new club in mid-season. It's always better when you come ahead, so you'll be able to have pre-season with the players, and that's basically what.
Like slot.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm going to say. But let's see what January holds. Land. His complaint is also that the players he inherited are finding it difficult to adapt to his system. So it looks like maybe this January United might.
But it's supposed to be a gradual process. You can't just, if you inherited the club before you even come to the club, you also need to study the philosophy of the club. Look at how the club play. Yes, you along the line you begin to introduce your own system, but you not just come and try to enforce your own system completely on the player at the same time. But if you look at the players in the Man, if you look at the players in the Man, they are not completely all bad players.
No,
in terms of individual, they are all players on individual.
The problem basically with United in the last matches, you see them, they play a game, they dominate possession, but scoring has been a problem. That's the problem. Scoring, Rashford is not scoring, Højlund not scoring, Zagzaki not scoring. So it's really a problem for United. So of course there are rumors this morning of them splashing the cash in January to bring his former striker from Sporting, which may help to solve some issues. Of course,
it's with the players.
Yeah, let's take a look at, of course, fixtures. Very tough fixtures. Don't forget, United will be going to Liverpool Star match off this weekend. That's on 5th January. It's going to be another testy one, but of course, Spurs will welcome Newcastle. Aston Villa hosts Leicester City, while Everton will travel to Bournemouth. Crystal Palace up against Chelsea, another very tricky one there. Man City will be welcoming West Ham this time. Southampton against Brentford. Well, who knows? Well, then another Brighton match. Brighton all play almost similar like Brentford. Another difficult team also. Yeah, taking on Arsenal. Then Fulham at home to Ipswich. Then Wolves at home to Nottingham Forest.
Well, for Liverpool and Manchester United, it's always a clash, a game to everybody to look forward to, particularly for the fans of the two sides. The rivalry between the clubs is going back to history, and we hope that yes, Manchester United are not in their best moment at the moment, but we can hope that the old rivalry can ignite their spirit and then get the result. There's all the Premier League, all those full of the Premier League are obviously looking up to this game, hoping that Amori and his player will be able to do something, looking at the history of the rivalry between the two sides. But in the recent form, Liverpool always has an edge against Manchester United. But we hope that Manchester United will be able to, even though not going to win, but at least getting the draw will be a fair result for Manchester United in this particular time. And just like I said earlier, Arsenal need to be careful as they keep on to challenge for the title, because Brighton is another banana peel, and has to be very, very careful when they travel to Brighton. For Spurs and Newcastle, yes, it's going to be a clash for the fans of the two sides to watch out for. But you can obviously, if you look at it, Newcastle in terms of form are better in form than Spurs at the moment. And Man City getting their first victory after some time against Leicester, now hosting West Ham, and hoping that Pep Guardiola and his team will be able to get a second successful victory against West Ham when they meet on Saturday. And for Southampton and Brentford, well, one can also be sure that Brentford will get another victory in this game, going by the form of the two sides at the moment. And for Northern Forest and Wolves, Northern Forest have begun to show that they are a Premier League contender. This is a team that was struggling to get a qualification at the last of this after deducting points from them. Now they are in the top challenging Arsenal for a second position on the log, and having a Wolves this weekend is going to be an interesting scene, and obviously they can be rest assured that the match is coming on Monday. Yes, the match will be put on Monday. It's another interesting one to see.
All right, interesting matches to look forward to in the EPL, and of course here we'll be keeping an eye and we'll give you a complete review of that and other sporting events. With that, we call it a day on our first episode of Sports Orbit in 2025. Salifu, thank you for being in the studio on today's edition of the program. And
obviously, looking at the 2025 is loaded with a whole lot of sporting activities. And just like we said earlier, the AFCON is going to hold this year, the Club World Cup, and so many other games to look up to. And at the same time, even the Youth Olympics, we have been planning for very popularly Senegal will be able to put their arms together to see the Youth Olympics this year.
National Sports Festival.
National Sports Festival that was supposed to be held by this January has been postponed. According to the National Sport Commission, they say they want to align it with the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President Sport. Let's hope how they are going to engineer the National Sport Commission to give hope to Nigerian youth. So we are waiting for Olokpade and as well as the chairman of National Sport Commission. But one thing that is very striking, that the same Olokpade who is trying to say that they need to rejig the National Sport Commission, the National Sport Festival, to align with the new vision, was the chairman of the LOC. For years, since the Augustine won the right to hold that, he said, so it could have been, to me, it's not his tradition that he is there before, should know everything that has put on ground to ensure that, to allow the game to go. Now they are postponing it. Before you know, now other activities will clash up with it, at the end of the day, we may not even hold the National Sport Commission, National Sport Festival this year. But I'm not a prophet of doom, but I hope that by the time the June, they should be mindful that because of our rain in June will be visible. But it's better for them to ensure that they hold this game early before March. That could have been better.
All right, that's our package on today's edition of the program. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another exciting edition of Sports Orbit. Do have a wonderful time. My name is Afa Cho, and it's bye for now.
Get ready for the Leadership Awards and Conference 2024. Join us as we celebrate excellence across various fields, honoring those who've made remarkable impacts. Award categories include Person of the Year, Quinquennial Award for Governance and Infrastructure, Governors of the Year, Business Person of the Year, and many more. Stay updated by following us on social media and visiting our website, leadership.ng. For sponsorship and inquiries, contact us today. Leadership Award and Conference 2024, celebrating excellence, inspiring the future. Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.